Now let's talk about ink. Printmaking ink is a little thicker than regular paint. And the reason why you want it to be a little thicker is so that it does not settle into any of these tiny little smooth and small lines that you have carved. If you've run your test print, then you know whether or not you've got your design carved deep enough. Don't forget that one of your items on your test print, on your student guide, is to come to Ms. Huffman with your test print that you've done with one of the stamp pads, so I can check it off to see that your lines are actually deep enough to work with the printing ink. I have mine all set. I wasn't completely happy with all of the background chatter that was happening in my print. All of this extra stuff going on is called chatter, and if you don't like that, you do want to take some more of that away, all you need to do is take your tools out and you can carve away any of those areas. You've got the ink from the stamp pad already on them, so you know exactly where all of the high spots are, so you can easily come back in and start carving away any of that stuff that you are unhappy with your final test print. But I've gotten all that out of the way, and now I'm ready to print. We would love to come into the art room every day and see the joy that is completely filled paint and ink containers. But as we all know, you will only see this once in your entire middle school career. So what you usually end up with is a tube that looks like this. This is not empty. This looks empty, but this is not actually empty. And the best way to get the ink out of this tube is to run it across the side of your table. You're going to place the ink on the side of the table. You're going to place your other hand on top of it, and you're going to pull the tube between your hand and the edge of the table. I'm going to do that right now, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but we'll give it a try. Oh, look at that lovely dried up ink. I'm going to rub this on the edge of the table, pressing it between my hand and the edge of the table. I'm going to force all of that remaining ink up to the end. Now, I can still not get anything out of this tube. The next step, you're going to bend the tube, and you're going to press right here, which is directly behind the opening, and there should be no problem getting the last remaining bits of ink out of the tube. Please use up every single drop before coming to me and asking for more ink, because I will almost always be able to get more ink out of the tube. It's amazing. I know. I'm amazing. Okay, now comes printing time. I'm going to first print on a piece of white paper. You will need to have your name on your papers. Name is very important on your papers before you start applying ink. Everything is too messy once you start to apply the ink. I've placed about the size of a quarter amount of ink onto my tray or onto my bench plate, depending on which building you're in. Now, I'm going to take my brayer, and the goal is not to cover the tray or bench plate with ink. The goal is to get an even coating on your roller. You will know it's an even coating by the sound. I know that sound is not the sound we're looking for. We're going to be looking for a sticky sound. If you just roll in one direction all the time, you're only going to coat the center of your roller. So you're going to have to turn the tray and go in the opposite direction. You also don't want to keep applying pressure the whole time, because while I have a lovely coating on this side, I also have spots on the back where nothing has been rolled. So I'm going to take my brayer, I'm going to lift it up every time so I can try to get an even coating all the way around. The sound that you're looking for is sticky. Try to listen past the squeaking to the sticky. Can you hear the sticky? It will also give you a bit, oh, there we go. When you're getting an even coating on the roller, you're also going to see a texture that happens in here that looks a bit like an orange peel. That's what you're looking for, a nice evenly coated brayer and a nice orange peel texture. All right, let's bring Norman over here. when you apply your ink, try to do it in a careful manner so that you're not getting ink all over every available surface around you. You also want to try and keep your fingers away from the roller just to keep the prints neat. We'll talk about what makes a good print and a bad print in your troubleshooting video. But for right now, let's just get the ink onto the roller. I'm going to try and focus all of the ink just on little Norman here, keeping a nice level and even pressure all the way around. Sometimes you might, with the first couple of prints especially, you might need to go back to the pan and you might add some more ink to the roller. The first couple of prints always are like the first couple of pancakes. They never quite get right until you get rolling. Alright, we've got a nice coating here on Mr. Norman. I'm going to keep my roller in the ink, not close to the edge of the table. We don't want it to fall on the floor. I am going to take my paper from the dry side, making sure I can see my name, and I'm going to give little Norman a test print here. If you can't see your name, that's because your name is being printed on. Make sure your name is up. Once you put it down, you're stuck with it. You cannot move it. You'll get a double print. I always keep one hand on the block at all times, just to make sure it's not going to move around on me. You don't want to press too hard, but you should get a nice even print and a nice even pressure to get your image to transfer. And let's see what we've got here. Oh, Norman is so cute. I'm going to keep printing, and every time I pull a print, when you take your print off of the plate, it's called pulling it. I'm going to transfer this right over to the drying rack. Please keep all of your wet prints in the drying rack, not spread out all over your table. The last thing I want to tell you in this video is don't be afraid to test out your prints on different kinds of material. I have all of the white paper we'll ever need, but that's not the only thing you can print on. You can print on different colors. Give it a test. Everybody test it on one piece of black. Try it on a different piece of color paper. Here's a lovely pile of painted papers. All of these things are options for you for your surface. Let's try one on the painted paper before we close out the video for the day. Every time you print, you need to put more ink on here. Every time you print, you do not necessarily need more ink in here. Okay, let's try it this way. We'll pick them up this time and transfer them exactly where I want them to be on my painted papers. When you flip over your design this way, it's very easy for it to slide around, so you don't want to press too hard when you flip it over this way. Let's see what that print looks like. Oh, very nice, very nice. All right, go and print all of the pages you're going to need. Try to make a series of at least 5, but if they get smudgy, if they get smeary, if you see a lot of fingerprints, then you might need to do more than 5.